Hi there, welcome back to another episode of Hula Learning Studio. My name is Joe, your English specialist. If you're new to this channel or a regular, thanks for joining today. Today, I will be sharing with you another video on parts of speech. It's a series that explains to you some of the most basic parts of English sentences by looking at the types of words. If you haven't seen them yet, you can check them out at the end of the video. For today, let's talk about parts of speech, auxiliary verbs. Number 1, what are auxiliary verbs? These special words help us understand what grammar tense is being used. Present, past, and future use different auxiliary verbs. For example, do is usually for the simple present, did is for the simple past, and will is for the future. Now, those are not the only auxiliary verbs that we have. We have others like can, would, may, should, might, have, and of course, the be verb. When you're learning English, knowing these auxiliary verbs will help you with how the sentences work and also in how to ask questions. Number 2, using auxiliary verbs in sentences. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's check out how auxiliary verbs are used. I will explain to you how they usually work. In most cases, we use an auxiliary verb and a main verb. Now, the main verb is usually the action. So you can see that we use two types of verbs. In English, we normally see the auxiliary verb with the main verb. It helps us understand which grammar the sentence is in. For example, I will travel to Italy. I will not travel to Italy. Here, we are using will as our auxiliary verb. It is telling us that this is the future. You can see it in the positive and negative sentence. Then, it's followed by the main verb. Here is another example. She is taking a nap. She is not taking a nap. We are using a present progressive sentence. The auxiliary is be or is. Our main verb is taking. We can see them both in the positive and negative sentence. However, this isn't always the case. The simple present and simple past uses the auxiliary a little bit differently. Let's take a look at the simple present first. Here are two sentences. They play board games every month. They do not play board games every month. Did you notice something different? In the positive sentence, the auxiliary verb is not there, but we use it in the negative sentence. In this case, it's do. This is typical for simple present. Again, we add a verb, and don't forget, the verb also changes, like adding the S rules when necessary. Now, what about the simple past? It's a little similar. Let me show you. I ate a slice of pizza. I did not eat a slice of pizza. Here, the auxiliary is did. We know this now because the sentence is in the past. Next to the auxiliary verb is the main verb. In the negative sentence, we change the past verb back to the basic form. Instead of did not ate, we use did not eat. Okay, let's check out our final point. Number 3, auxiliary verbs in questions. Probably your most important thing to learn is how to ask questions. The key thing to asking them is that you need to know which auxiliary verb to use. Whether it's present, past, or future, you need to use the right auxiliary verb to match it. But let's take it a little easy here. I wanted to show you two ways that you can look at auxiliary verbs in questions. The first is asking general questions or yes and no questions. These always begin with an auxiliary verb. Actually, a good way to remember general questions is this formula. Auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb. Here are a few questions. Will you study tomorrow? Do you have a pen? Are you listening? Did you take a shower? Can you play a musical instrument? The second way that the auxiliary verbs are used in questions is when we ask informative questions. These are your what, when, why, how, who, and where questions. Generally, we follow this formula. Information word plus the auxiliary verb plus the subject plus the verb. For example, where do you go to school? When did you buy your phone? Why are you hungry? Who is watching TV? What have you read recently? Now, if you're asking a who question, we normally follow the same structure as the positive sentence. For example, who drinks coffee? Who broke the chair? Who is cleaning now? Who has finished their assignment? Who can draw a picture? Awesome work. Hope this helps you out. If you or anyone you know are learning English, make sure you subscribe and follow us for more English lessons. Thanks for stopping by, and I appreciate your time. My name is Joe, your English specialist, and this is Hula. See you next time.